Good morning. My name is E.Czerwinski. I am professor of Jagiellonian University and senior medical director of FutureMeds. I'd like to talk about the fractures. Everybody has some risk of fracture, but somebody got the higher than the others. And it's important to find who is at risk and to prevent the fracture. Surely you will say, I am not interested at all, I am healthy and young, that's it. But you got mother, you got grandmother, and probably even mother-in-law. And surely they are over 50. At that age, 30% of women got a fracture, 8% of men, and majority of them could be prevented. Nowadays, we have a tool to find who is at the risk just at home using FRAX calculator. FRAX was published in 2008 by John Canis under the auspices of WHO, and it is based on the 10 years observation of 230,000 of patients with 18,000 of fractures. And since then, this tool is widely used around the world in 173 countries, 34 languages, covers 80% of population, and already yearly we have 6 million calculations. The only thing you have to do to go to a computer or portable and type www.Sheffield UK FRAX or FRAX calculator, and you will be connected to the web and just answering some questions you can assess your or her risk. You will put age, sex, weight, height. Then there are questions about the fracture risk factors, means previous fracture, parental fracture, current smoking, glucocorticosteroids, rheumatoid arthritis, secondary osteoporosis, alcohol abuse, and that's it. You press calculate, and it will immediately calculate your fracture risk. I will present it to you using a portable, and the calculation we will just take a patient, woman, and she is 67 years of age. Her weight is 78 kilo, and her height is 168 centimeters. Off we go. Here we are with the FRAX calculator. After typing sheffieldac.uk FRAX, you got the FRAX information. Here are the risk factors, and first thing to be done is to adjust the country data for FRAX, and we have here for Europe, and say we are in England, and now our data will be calculated for English population, and we put age of our patient, which is 67, sex, of course, female, and her weight is 78 and her height, what is 168 centimeters. And from the fracture risk, there is just one. Her mother have a broken hip, so we mark that. She has no other risk factors, and now we put calculate. And we got major osteoporotic fracture 15. If we have bone mineral density measurement, we can add to calculation T-score and say that in this patient the T-score was minus 2.6, and again calculate, and we see that we have major osteoporotic fracture risk 22. If we want to be more precise, we can put just exact BMD measurement of the hip, not the spine, and we have say, and we must state which equipment was that. Said it would be hologic in this case, and again we know that her bone mineral density in the hip was not 0.545, and again calculate, and we see it hasn't changed because it was the same. So this is the result: major osteoporotic fracture 22% and hip fracture 5%. The result: 10 years probability of fracture risk, 22% of major osteoporotic fracture. What does it mean? That within the forthcoming 10 years, she might experience fracture of the radius, humerus, spine, or the hip. And for the hip fracture is just 5%. What she should do, she should print the result, go to the doctor and say, listen, doctor, I have a very high risk of fracture. Please do something about it. Surely, doctor will administer medication, exercises, and majority of cases can avoid the fracture and the complications. More information you can find on the International Osteoporosis Foundation page, www.osteoporozy.foundation, eventually in Polish, on Polish portal Osteoporosis, www.osteoporozy.pl. So I hope I convince you, and please think about